Hey, everybody. So, I'm the managing director of the city of Philadelphia. Mike Diberardinis, thank you. Most of all the operating departments in the city, the forward-facing departments, report into my office. And I have the great pleasure to work with Jim Kenney, who I think is a courageous mayor. And just to talk about the current political situation, I'm going off script here. Toomey, the State House, the State Senate, and our president, there's two words: resist and succeed. So this is about success. So a couple years ago, I'm having coffee. You guys might know Donna Cooper. She's a longtime Fishtown resident. We're having coffee at the Steep and Grind, and I'm talking about how do we build our public infrastructure. And she says, you got a Soviet Union infrastructure for parks and recreation and libraries. It looks like it was gulags. You got to change that. So I said, damn, that's a great idea. How are we going to do that? So I get this idea. I go to the mayor, or the then Democratic candidate for mayor, Jim Kenney, and I say, look, Jim, if we can do a bond, we can raise $500 million, $500 million, and invest in recreation centers, parks, libraries, and trails, playgrounds, swimming pools, everything across the city. We can transform these facilities into something special. So people who have not had quality public facilities can have them in their neighborhood. He said, yeah, go. So he said, really? He says, go ahead, go do it. I said, okay. So I work around a little bit, and we get to this point where the bond agencies come in, say it's a good idea, bring in William Penn. William Penn say it's a good idea. So we launched this effort to renew all the public facilities, parks, recreation center, libraries in the city. Now, I had run this system for a long time, and I knew what a mess it was. We had very limited capital dollars to invest in infrastructure, and an immense demand. It had been neglected for about 40 or 50 years. So we had to do an assessment of this system. In fact, the field, if anybody remembers Newt's over at Schistler Playground, the baseball and soccer field was cinders. It's an old rail yard. So when people came to play us, they would try to park the cars on the field because it looked like a parking lot. That's the kind of conditions we were under. So we had to really invest in this system and get a really good analysis of what the system looked like. So we did that, and we began to see where the investment across the city, where we invested, what's the shape of the system? Oh, yeah. And figured out where to go, and then we figured how we're going to pay for it. So we did a deep analysis of the system, and then figured out how much it would cost, and then we sort of, okay, how are we going to pay for this? We have to float $300 million worth of bonds. We get $100 million from William Penn. We have $50 million in existing capital budget, and we're going to raise at least $50 million from other foundations and federal and state money. So the soda tax was it. Nobody believed we could do it. We had it, Big Soda, we kicked their butts, right? We kicked Big Soda's butt. First city in America that beat Big Soda. Then we had to figure out how to move this money effectively in the system with two ideas. One was equity, and the other one was leveraged investment. So how do we do both of those things? Tilted mostly towards the equity piece and a little bit towards leveraged investment, where we could drive other commercial, retail, residential investment in the neighborhood. We looked at the city, we looked at where we invested, we looked at health data, we looked at crime data, and we figured out where do we need to invest this money across the system, thanks to William Penn Foundation and the Knight Foundation. They got on board early, and they helped us do that. Some of these charts will boggle your mind, but we really call it, these are sort of the pain maps. It's all about poverty. So when you look at when you look at data and statistics, it's really about, you can go in the same neighborhoods over and over and over again, and the answer is always poverty. So we said, okay, we're going to invest in those neighborhoods. We're going to improve the quality of life there. We're going to improve the educational opportunities, and we're going to seek to drive investment in those neighborhoods. So how do we do that? We're going to do it through an amazing community investment, community engagement process. We not only were going to ask citizens across the city to help us imagine what is best for your neighborhood, but we're also going to ask you, what do you need to succeed as a neighborhood? What do you need from this government to help you succeed on your aspirations and hopes for your community? It is going to be a novel and a groundbreaking engagement with citizens, and ultimately we hope to have a citizens compact where the government makes pledge to you based on your needs and your concerns relative to those facilities, and then we're going to ask you to help us steward and program those facilities. It's just not going to be physical. We are going to integrate, and we're going to build diversity in the trades, and we've been working an entire year on that, and we have an MOU that we think is a groundbreaking MOU relative to the diversity inclusion in the trades. We're also going to build women and minority contractors, both in the professional services as well as in the building and construction phases of the project. So I really think, but here's the deal. We got to stand up to these guys in Washington. We got to stand up to the anti-urban, anti-minority, anti-women forces in America, and we got to show them that cities work, that diverse cities work. We got to show them that Philadelphia can work, and then we will cut the path to the future. And believe me, we have a mayor who's committed to that, and an administration's committed to that, and we hope to do it in part through Rebuild. Thank you very much.